You're listening to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute, featuring the internationally acclaimed inventor of the Bonati spine procedures, Alfred Bonati, MD. Once again, here are Dr. Bonati and your host, Kimberly Brumell.
Thank you for joining us for American Medicine Today. I'm Kimberly Brumell, joined by Ethan Euchre.
Happy to be here as always.
Jeff Wagstaff's listening from the other room because we have an in-studio testimonial.
We took him out.
And across from me, we have world-renowned orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Alfred Bonati of the esteemed Bonati Spine Institute.
I'm not here yet.
You're here in body,
There
just
you go.
not spirit.
That's it.
That hasn't
Exactly.
arrived yet, but it's on the way, I hear.
You know, every week, I always try to think about what I'm going to say. We
And
have
what
so
happened?
many people that reach out to us because they remain in pain, and they're being told time and time again that nothing can be done for them. They're being told that they have to live a life on pain pills, or, you know, due to an accident, that they will be in a wheelchair or on a cane for the rest of their lives. And we're finding out more and more through the patients that come to the Bonati Spine Institute and undergo the targeted precision procedures, the Bonati spine procedures, that that's not the case anymore. They're able to regain their strength and get back in motion. We see over 65% of our patients have come to us after failed surgery elsewhere. So it's not just that we say Bonati succeeds where others fail, you know, just to say it. We say it because it's true. And, you know, I am a satisfied patient. I saw the success that he was bringing to his patients on a routine basis. I underwent 3 Bonati spine procedures on my cervical spine. I now no longer have any problems. No more migraine headaches, something I suffered with for a long time. And my mother was actually my moral support during that taping. We had the film crew. Ethan was in.
I was.
And it was an amazing experience. And my mom was right there because she was nervous. You know, her little girl going in for spine
She
surgery.
was more nervous than you were, I think, going
Well,
into it.
you know, this...
I was more nervous.
You were
well,
definitely, no.
My mother had gone through traditional spine surgery. She has a cross on her lower back, about 8 inches, side to side and vertically. And she had hip bone fusion and wire fused in her spine. And as a little girl, I would see her with limited motion. This is someone that would play tennis and was very active and had to be carried off a court. And then she had trouble with that spine surgery. And I walked her through that whole process. And once she saw what Dr. Bonati had done for other people, she herself came in. We'll get to that in just a moment, but we have an exciting lineup. We have Dr. Andrew Pecora. He's going to talk about some innovative stem cell cancer therapies that are out there.
Yeah, they actually had a huge summit at the Vatican about
Yes.
6 weeks ago, the third of its kind, actually. And he was the American representative at the Vatican. So we'll get
Great developments.
some updates on that.
And then we have the system called the Top Closure Suture Device. This thing will take gaping wounds and line them up perfectly. It stretches the
With
skin.
hardly any scarring.
Correct.
We saw photos of that, by the way.
Yeah, very graphic photos, but
things they can
amazing
fix.
technology. And then, of course, you'll hear what's new in American medicine today. But up first,
In today's Back to Life segment, we will talk to a patient of the Bonati Spine Institute who went from living a life that was restricted by pain and discomfort through their journey of finding the Bonati Spine Institute and are now living pain-free.
it is my pleasure to introduce to the program Patricia Meshes, better known as Mom. She was my moral support, as I said, during my procedures, and she saw how calm I was. She saw that interaction, and she herself decided she needed to be relieved of the pain that she suffered with from the 80s. So, Mom, why don't you describe what you went through in the early 80s?
Well, I had 2 surgeries. My first surgery happened when I was on the tennis court, and I served. I couldn't move. After I served, I was in a tournament. I played tournament tennis, and my partner had to play the court. I wasn't able to do that, and we lost, but everyone knew something was wrong because usually I would approach the net or move, and I was actually frozen in just one position, so they had to help me off, roll me into the car, and then I sought some surgeons, and the first surgery that I had, it went well, but I had months and months of recovery. I had to go through therapy, and it went on for a while. And when it was over, I still had pain. The pain was a little less, but not much less. And I hurt a lot within a year and a half. I found myself in a bathtub and calling for Kimberly. She was a little girl.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't move. I couldn't get out of the tub.
Wow.
I remember as a little kid hearing my mom yell, and my dad, my brother, and I, we ran upstairs, and my mom couldn't get out of the tub.
Sheesh.
And
So it was pretty severe.
yeah,
The pain that you were
yes.
in.
Very severe.
So that was after her first fusion surgery, and that was the one with the wire. Was that it?
No,
Or that
no,
was the hip
actually,
bone?
that was the regular
Oh, the regular one.
surgery.
Okay.
It was failed back,
Right.
obviously,
Okay.
because I couldn't move. And this went on. I tried to just stay in bed,
Mm-hmm.
not move. I tried just pain relievers. And finally, we realized I had to do something.
Yeah. Well,
remember that?
You went back to that initial
Yes, I
doctor,
did.
and the first one, that's right, because the first time he didn't remove the disc. He just removed the portion that I guess shattered
Yes.
from how you had explained it, and he said that's the nature of the beast.
Yes.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
So, Mom, explain. You obviously went to a different doctor.
So when he told me I'd be back for more surgeries as more and more of the disc would start to release itself and start severing nerves, I would be back again and again because that's the nature of the beast. So I decided to seek help elsewhere, and I went to different surgeons, and I found one that was able to help me. It was a new fusion procedure, different from other fusion procedures, and I had to trust in that particular surgeon. I did. It was in Chicago, and he did help me. He needed to call in. It was supposed to be just a very short surgery, and it ended up being almost triple the amount of time, 4 or 5 hours. And he had to call in a neurosurgeon at that point. Well, anyway, it helped. It definitely helped. I had a cast. I had a hip bone fused in wire. I had a cast on for months. My daughter would sleep next to me, so I would have company because I didn't want her alone. She knew I was in a lot of pain. Over the years, it got a little worse, and it would gradually get worse. And then I would get a little bit of relief, and then I would have the pain again. And each time that happened, the pain was more. And I lived in Florida now, and I was seeking some type of a relief. Again, I went to doctors. Most said they couldn't do too much because they knew I had a fusion. And at some point, when Kimberly was working at Bonati Institute, I decided maybe that would be an alternative. And I heard about that procedure, and it sounded fantastic. But coming and watching Kimberly go through it, and sitting actually in the surgical room and watching Dr. Bonati perform his miracles was
That was
incredible.
the clincher.
Oh yeah,
Where you said, "All right,
and she was
wanna do this."
face down, and I was able to see her interact, and came out smiling and happy. I was blown away.
Yeah.
So finally, I decided I would seek help at Bonati Institute, and the place is so warm. Everybody's helpful from the minute you walk in the door. Everybody hugs you, and you feel like you're part of the family. Dr. Bonati was able to exactly show me and pinpoint just the perfect spot that he would need to go into to relieve the pain. And when he showed me the fusion, I had never seen that before. I saw the wire and the fusion, and he told me that there was adhesions and things that he needed to do to release the nerve because I was having trouble, which would get worse and worse again, putting on shoes and socks and playing with my granddaughter and just doing normal housework. I would get relief for a little bit, but then it would be so bad that I couldn't move again. I'd be frozen.
This is prior to
Yes,
the surgery.
prior to the surgery. And I was at an airport, couldn't move, stayed on an elevator going to one of the floors, and everybody could get off, but I couldn't move. And anyway,
So why don't you explain what it was like the day of surgery?
the day
for
of
you?
surgery, actually, everyone welcomed me. It was like nothing big was really going to happen, except I knew it was. And I came in, I talked to them. We had the intravenous. I talked to the anesthesiologist. The room was fantastic. It was loaded with all professionals. Explaining to me that I was going to be interacting with Dr. Bonatti, and he was asking me questions. I remember that. And I was face down looking at the procedure and just amazed that it was me.
Yeah.
And Dr. Bonatti would ask me to move a leg and to try to extend and show him where the pain was coming from. And finally, when I couldn't feel any pain, that was it. I went into recovery. That was fine. And I've had no pain since. It was a few days for me to feel 100%, but I've had no problems. And I'm back to walking.
And doing bungee jumping.
I did a bungee jump at the local mall. It was
the mall,
a
was
mini
it?
a mini bungee.
A mini bungee.
I don't want anyone to think I jumped off a cliff.
Well, that's
or
what I
anything.
thought when I heard you went
But
bungee jumping.
No,
I'm
I
like,
felt
what? I haven't even done that.
I felt like that before the surgery, like I could jump off a cliff and just never come back. But no, after the surgery, I was able to go into the mall and do bungee jumping, which I haven't done anything in years.
Yeah.
So
no, the recovery has been
the
pretty
recovery
amazing.
has been fantastic, and coming back for the post-op to see Dr. Bonatti and the family, it's been great. It's if I know of anyone that needs this, and I have talked to people, I've told them this is the place to come to. Don't accept that it can't get better.
You know,
Patricia, this one has only guarantee without bungee jumping.
Well, I had to try it. I wanted to try something different because I'd been inactive.
Right. You know, from the standpoint of a family member, to see someone who was so limited my whole childhood and only up until a few months ago, to see her the way she is now, she is lifting things she never was able to lift before.
Different
I
person.
mean,
Grocery
things that
shopping.
I don't even want to lift. She's
Stop
Grocery
scaring
feels
me.
so great. She was never able to squat down. That was something she was never able to do when she had those traditional surgeries. With the Bonatti spine procedure, shortly thereafter, in a matter of days, she's squatting, doing things that she hadn't done before.
But grocery shopping was something.
I see a new side to my mom. And
let me add something.
Okay.
You guys are scaring me now. I mean, I didn't allow you to do all these things. This is not allowed.
Doc
You
didn't
just
know
can
about this.
walk. That's it.
But you know, that's a testament to what you do, Dr. Bonatti, and the relief you bring to everyone. It's something that I trust wholeheartedly. I went myself, and I let you operate on my mom because
Yeah,
we trust
you both are crazy.
And
That speaks volumes
it speaks
of the man's
volumes.
skills.
Friends, family. So if you are suffering like that with headaches, sciatic pain, back pain, that you're having trouble driving, reach out to Bonatti at Bonatti.com, 855-267-0483. Coming up, we'll have more. We're going to talk about stem cell cancer developments. Make sure you stay tuned. You're listening to American Medicine Today. Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonatti spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonatti spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail.
This is the first time that I am pain-free after 18 years. And it's just wonderful. I love it.
Phenomenal results. No pain whatsoever.
My pain is virtually gone. Nothing short of a miracle.
Those surgeries gave me my life back.
Already, I feel like a new person.
I'm going home new. I can chase my grandbaby now. I can garden. I can cook. And I'm really thrilled. The outcome's been remarkable.
I feel 100% better.
It's like a miracle.
It was phenomenal. It literally did change my life.
I was in a wheelchair at that time, and I left here walking.
Every single pain that I had when I came here is gone.
I'm ready to go home and feel great. This place is great. Thank you.
Everything that they said they would do, they have done, and I'm very, very satisfied and happy with those results.
I knew in surgery, in fact I told the surgeon when he relieved the pain off the nerve.
The pain is gone. I'm feeling wonderful.
I have no pain
I feel better than I felt in 4 years from the surgery. It was almost immediate relief.
Today I am totally pain-free, which is just amazing. It's fantastic.
It definitely works. I mean, I really don't know what else to tell you. I'm happy.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail.
You're listening to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute, featuring the internationally acclaimed inventor of the Bonati spine procedures, Alfred Bonati, MD. Once again, here are Dr. Bonati and your host, Kimberly Brummel.
Thanks for listening to American Medicine Today. I'm Kimberly Brummel, joined by Ethan Euchre.
Glad to be here.
Jeff Wagstaff.
Hello, Kimberly.
Hello. And world-renowned orthopedic surgeon, political correctness offends him.
Apparently.
That would be Alfred Bonati, MD. Thanks for joining us. And, we're starting to really drill down to the questions that are on our Facebook page.
Well, first, let's mention, we were supposed to to Dr. Andrew Pecora. He got pulled away.
On an emergency.
This is hilarious.
You couldn't even believe it.
He literally got pulled over.
Literally.
When we were just about ready to go on with him. So
we heard sirens. We're like, oh no, what's going on?
Yeah, he was so excited, was going 120 miles per hour.
He probably was.
I have no idea.
I'll have to call you back. I'm getting pulled over.
Yeah,
it's a bad day when that happens.
But the show must go on. So we
does.
figured we'd answer some questions.
Right. Yeah, we're answering questions on Facebook. A lot of people have been writing in recently that may not be all fit and fine like our Jeff Wagstaff.
That's 175 pounds of screaming, steel, and sex appeal, people.
There you go. Well, not everyone is health.
Why don't
buff.
you leave your cane?
You like that, huh?
Why are you using a cane?
No, but in all seriousness, folks, not everyone is, a weight trainer and everything like that. Not everyone
like Jeff
is, a health buff. And so we always get asked, if you are overweight, can you come in and get the Bonati spine procedures? Well, Dr. Bonati, why don't you talk about some of the patients that come into you?
Well, I have a patient that asked me the other day, and said, I am 140, I am 440 pounds. Is any way, and I have a tremendous amount of pain, and the MRI shows that I have a herniated disc, and nobody wants to operate on me. They are telling me that I need to lose weight.
Right.
I have no way to lose weight. I try, and I lose 50 pounds, and then suddenly I gain my 50 pounds in 2 days.
Correct.
So,
now, Doc, do you think some of that is caused by the extra weight that this person's carrying around, their back injury?
Well, I really think when you have a back injury, you become practically immobilized. So one of the things that happen with these people are they cannot exercise. They're in a lot of pain. So they cannot walk. Then they continue putting more weight. Then they become then they start to take medications. And one of the medications are usually doctors start to prescribe cortisone. Cortisone will make you gain weight immediately.
Yes.
And then the next thing they start, now they become overweight. They become in pain. They are not able to lose the weight. Then they become depressed. They start to take pain medications, and then the pain medication give you some tendency to depression. And the next thing that happens, they become now taking antidepressant medication. Antidepressant medication make you gain weight also. So what happened at the very end, you're gaining weight all over, and you cannot lose it.
You exacerbate the problem.
Right.
Well,
all around.
And if you're in pain, what are you going to do?
Correct.
Look at television and eat.
Right.
Well, that's the other problem. Then you continue gaining weight.
Right.
So this guy is in a situation of really conflict. And the next thing I told him, I say, why are you concerned about why your doctors are concerned about treating you because you have this extra weight? And say, because they think they cannot do the surgery. And I say, well, this is the beauty of the Bonatti procedure. We have tubes that we can introduce no matter what is your size and how much you weigh, and we can reach directly as a target procedure, the target area that needs to be treated.
Sure.
So it's not a problem for the Bonatti procedures to solve the problem in people who has overweight.
Have you had to perform surgery on anyone that morbidly obese? Or
I have one time to use 2 operating rooms to hold somebody because the size.
2 operating rooms or 2 tables?
2 tables.
Yeah.
Sorry. 2 tables. 2
tables.
operating room tables
Put together.
to do that. Yeah.
Wow.
And
so you have some experience working on people overweight.
Yeah. Overweight is not a problem for our technique.
Yeah.
Now, if you are going to do open surgery, absolutely.
Yeah.
You can go anywhere with it.
And what's the recovery process like for someone who's overweight? Because they're already...
No, the same.
Yeah?
The same. For our procedures, the same. Now, if you do open surgery, that's a different animal.
Right.
Well, and you would think, actually, now, if their pain was gone, they would be more motivated to get up, to walk around.
Well, that's exactly what happened. I saw people that they were really overweight, not that morbid type,
right.
But overweight. They were, for example, 5'10" or 5 or 6 foot, and they were 290 or something like that.
Right.
Well, you operate on these people, and the next thing that you see them, you go, "What happened with you?"
They drop right down.
Absolutely.
Well, they feel better. They're more active. And
Correct.
That motivates them.
They go back to their lives. They go back to the life that they were before, and now they start to like themselves because they start to lose weight. They don't have a pain. They don't take these crappy medications that you're taking for a long time, and then the next thing that happens is you decide that you're worth it, and you take care of yourself.
Quickly, can we address spinal stimulators? Are they good?
Oh my God! Don't look. I am. Against,
I know. 1 minute.
1
minute or less.
Uno momento.
Anytime you ask Doc a question, he's going to have to explain it to him.
I am against anything that you put in your body. Don't put stimulators. Don't put pumps. Don't put screws and plates.
Rods.
Don't put disc replacements. Don't put something to separate your vertebrae, spacers or things like that.
Right.
All this is totally useless.
Right. Hardware remains in your toolkit, not in your back.
Heavy
That's
metal
the
belongs
takeaway.
on your radio.
Absolutely.
Not in your back.
Yep.
You know?
Toolbox are on your radio.
Your radio.
My radio, definitely.
And right now, your radio is tuned in to our flagship station, News Radio 970, WFLA.
What an incredible segue.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah,
awesome.
See?
Hey, so this is going to be really cool coming up. I've been looking forward to this one. Dr. Morris Topaz.
Yes.
Device called Top Closure. And it's sort of revolutionized the way that...
you close gaping wounds.
Leave it to the Israelis to come up with that kind of innovation.
Hey, you know.
They're awesome and innovative. Make sure you stay tuned. We'll be right back. Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonatti spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonatti spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail.
This is the first time that I am pain-free after 18 years. And it's just wonderful. I love it.
Phenomenal results. No pain whatsoever.
My pain is virtually gone. Nothing short of a miracle.
Those surgeries gave me my life back.
Already, I feel like a new person.
I'm going home new. I can chase my grandbaby now. I can garden. I can cook. And I'm really thrilled. The outcome's been remarkable.
I feel 100% better.
It's like a miracle.
It was phenomenal. It literally did change my life.
I was in a wheelchair at that time, and I left here walking.
Every single pain that I had when I came here is gone.
I'm ready to go home and feel great. This place is great. Thank you.
Everything that they said they would do, they have done, and I'm very, very satisfied and happy with those results.
I knew in surgery, in fact, I told the surgeon when he relieved the pain off the nerve.
The pain is gone. I'm feeling wonderful.
I have no pain. I feel better than I felt in 4 years from the surgery. It was almost immediate relief.
Today I am totally pain-free, which is just amazing. It's fantastic.
It definitely works. I mean, I really don't know what else to tell you. I'm happy.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonatti spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonatti spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail.
You're listening to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonatti Spine Institute, featuring the internationally acclaimed inventor of the Bonatti spine procedures, Alfred Bonatti, MD. Once again, here are Dr. Bonatti and your host, Kimberly Brumell.
Thank you for joining us on American Medicine Today. I'm Kimberly Brumell, joined by Ethan Euchre.
Happy to be here.
Jeff Wagstaff.
Hey, Kimberly, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. And world-renowned orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Alfred Bonatti of the Bonatti Spine Institute.
Hi.
Now, using stitches to treat major wounds hasn't really changed for thousands of years. That is until now, a new device called Top Closure. It's a revolutionizing deep wound treatment. And joining us right now from China, of all places, is Dr. Morris Topaz, Chief of Plastic Surgery at Israel's Hillel Yaffe Medical Center and one of the developers of the closure. So thank you for joining us, Dr. Topaz.
Good evening. Nice joining you.
Nice joining you.
Yeah, again,
you
and it's
as well.
Top Closure is a pretty incredible device. And as you mentioned, Kimberly, suturing really hasn't changed in millennia.
Yes.
So, Dr. Topaz, what made you see a need for improvement, and how did you come about inventing or developing Top Closure?
Well, actually, during my professional training and work in Israel, I have treated a lot of severe trauma injuries, and we have encountered severe road accidents, suicide bombing, and combat injuries that would take long and complicated course of healing.
Right.
And for years, I knew that we need to find a different and better way to solve these wound healing issues. So actually, it's a whole process that took me during the years to think, and I would say it's the same way as an apple drops from a tree to get the idea, and well, this is the best solution to do it.
Just a moment of inspiration, really. And we saw you all sent us some photos, Dr.
77
Topaz.
pages.
Yeah,
Yes.
and just some of these wounds that are being closed with Top Closure is pretty incredible. Tell us kind of how it works, because it's like it still uses sutures, but it kind of bridges the gap and pulls it together.
Stretching the skin, I take it.
Well, actually, it's complete different thinking, because if you think about sutures, they were all the same. They are just wires that hold the skin together. And this way of holding the skin creates a high shear stress on the skin. And many times it would create damage to the skin. While what we actually need to do is to hold the skin in a gentle way. And that would be by increasing the size of grip on the skin as the plate of the Top Closure.
Right.
So that was the main change in thinking, in the idea. So instead of using very narrow sutures, use a wide grip like two fingers holding the wound edges, bringing them together. And that is actually the Top Closure.
The thing I couldn't get over is in the pictures that you sent, these are gaping wounds.
They even held up a ruler to, and they're
Yes.
4, 5, 6 inch wounds.
It doesn't even
Just
look
massive.
like with any type of suture that these would ever close. And with your particular product, Top Closure, is it held on by adhesive? I was trying to figure that out, but it gently slowly stretches the skin. And how does it?
Actually, if you look at the video, you could see that we attach the plates to the skin either by glue or by staples or by sutures.
Okay.
But then what connects it is actually tension sutures that goes from one side to the other and grip the whole depth of the wound and bring the two wound edges together on block. So it's not the sutures; it's actually bringing the whole tissue together.
Okay, is this technique something that you use in a progressive way, or you can close in the same time that you are doing the first correction of the wound?
Well, the other great idea about the top closure is that you can use it before surgery. We call it biomechanical creep, slowly stretching the skin and bringing the wound together, the skin, stretching the skin together, so that we prepare the skin for final closure. Or we can use it during surgery, like expediting, doing stress relaxation, pulling hard and relaxing, and that would very fast bring the wound edges together. And again, we can use it after surgery. If we could not close the wound during surgery, we can slowly stretch the skin after surgery to close it completely later. There are 3 stages that we can use it.
I saw in my training in plastic surgery, we used some type of balloons underneath the skin, and then we allowed the balloon to distend the skin for a period of time, and then after that the skin was stretched, and then we brought the skin together. Is some idea like that?
This is absolutely different, because this is what you're talking about is a tissue expander, but that would take another surgery to place the balloon under the skin, another weeks and even months to inflate and stretch the skin.
Yeah.
While we can do it externally, while applying the top closure on the skin and stretching the skin slowly, gradually, in a non-invasive way, and just preparing for surgery, so then the skin can be loose and could be approximated much easier.
Okay, great.
Am I correct in the assumption that your product keeps adhesions from forming? Because the other thing I noticed on all the information you had sent over, it shows before and after photos, but it shows people in motion that they still have full range of motion. So is it helping in that healing process to avoid adhesions? The scar tissue?
Well, in a way it does. We prefer to put the top closure as early as possible following trauma, for example.
Sure.
If you wait too long, then scarring is created underneath the flaps or underneath the skin, and then it would be very hard to mobilize the skin. While if you do it early, you can stretch the skin and bring the wound edges together, so that you can stretch the skin and close the wound much faster. Right. And this we experience in combat injuries, that we can close in a very speedy way and close the wound early, so that to improve functionality, and that's a major importance in wound closure.
Right. Yeah, that's actually one of the biggest advantages of top closure, is it can be used on the battlefield, right on the battlefield after a wound has occurred. Now, you've traveled all over the world, Dr. Topaz. I talked to your publicist, or your assistant, for probably an hour before we set this up, and she was telling me some of the amazing things you've done around the world. I mean, you're in China now, you work in Israel. What are some of the more extreme questions, or some of the more extreme cases that you've seen that the top closure has helped with?
Well, actually, I can mention a few cases. One case that we did in Israel was cutting out a huge tumor and being able to close it within 26 minutes. I mean, that was, I would tell you, that was a gap of about 17 centimeters that we could stretch and close the wound in about 26 minutes. Another case that we did in China, that was a huge recurrent sarcoma, a relatively young patient that was operated 5 times before, and the tumor recurred. And we could take out, that was a huge tumor. You can see it in the video. And we could close it by stress relaxation in 2 hours and 14 minutes. That kind of a defect would commonly be closed by free flap or huge other big flaps. That would be
in today's
a big surgery.
Yeah.
And how long do you leave the stay sutures to relax the skin?
Well, I would leave the whole system attached to the skin for about, it depends on the gap, but I would say up to 3 to 4 weeks. But then once you take it out, the wound is healed completely. And the other important thing about it is that the patient can mobilize early. Like another case that I did in Panama, where we treated a huge skin defect after necrotizing fasciitis. That's a severe infection of the skin that necessitated wide excision of the skin. And she was treated for about 2 months just with vacuum, growing granulation tissue, but then that did not close the wound. And what we did there was applying the top closure together with the vacuum. And that was highly infected wound, and closing the wound in a very short time. And the patient could mobilize very early. And you can see her in the video, just, dancing in about 3 weeks.
Wow.
And that's something that we cannot achieve when closing with flaps or skin graft.
How the body react when you close the skin in somebody who has, for example, an osteomyelitis? Imagine that somebody who has an accident, a motorcycle, expose the bone, and then you close the skin. The idea is fantastic, because sooner you close the skin, faster you correct the possibility of infection. But if you already have an infection and it's an osteo, if you close the skin, is that beneficial, or you need to maintain the skin open?
This is a very good question. Actually, we need to combine. We developed another unique system, which is ROIN-PT. This is combining vacuum, irrigation, and oxygen together, and we apply the antibiotics to the wound. So in these cases of infected wounds, we combine vacuum treatment with irrigation and oxygen together with the top closure. In these cases, we will not close the wound completely immediately. We would wait until the infection is eradicated, and only then we can actually close the wound completely. So that would be a different case. That would be unique. And but again, this is another topic for the way that we treat infected wounds, which is very unique too.
Thank you for calling us from China, Dr. Morris Topaz, Chief of Plastic Surgery at Israeli's Hillel Yaffe Medical Center and one of the developers of Top Closure. Thank you so much for telling us about your product.
Nice talking to you.
Thanks, Dr. Topaz.
Thank you, and thank you.
All right,
nice
have a good
talking
day.
to you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Amazing technologies. Make sure you stay tuned, because coming up after the break, you'll hear what's new. Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonatti created, perfected, and patented the Bonatti spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonatti invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonatti spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonatti succeeds where others fail.
This is the first time that I am pain-free after 18 years. And it's just wonderful. I love it.
Phenomenal results. No pain whatsoever.
My pain is virtually gone. Nothing short of a miracle.
Those surgeries gave me my life back.
Already, I feel like a new person.
I'm going home new. I can chase my grandbaby now. I can garden, I can cook, and I'm really thrilled. The outcome's been remarkable.
I feel 100% better.
It's like a miracle.
It was phenomenal. It literally did change my life.
I was in a wheelchair at that time, and I left here walking.
Every single pain that I had when I came here is gone.
I'm ready to go home and feel great. This place is great. Thank you.
Everything that they said they would do, they have done, and I'm very, very satisfied and happy with those results.
I knew in surgery, in fact, I told the surgeon when he relieved the pain off the nerve.
The pain is gone. I'm feeling wonderful.
I have no pain. I feel better than I felt in 4 years from the surgery. It was almost immediate relief.
Today I am totally pain-free, which is just amazing. It's fantastic.
It definitely works. I mean, I really don't know what else to tell you. I'm happy.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail.
You're listening to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute, featuring the internationally acclaimed inventor of the Bonati spine procedures, Alfred Bonati, MD. Once again, here are Dr. Bonati and your host, Kimberly Brumell.
Thank you for joining us on American Medicine Today. I'm Kimberly Brumell, joined by Ethan Euchre.
Always glad to be here.
Our friend Jeff Wagstaff.
Hey, Kimberly, thanks for having me.
And world-renowned orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Alfred Bonati of the Bonati Spine Institute. I think you need to turn on your mic.
Here we go. Take two.
I love to be here.
He loves to be here.
Let's look at what's new in medicine today, featuring Alfred Bonati, MD.
This is so important. You're going to talk about Washington's blessing hospitals that are killing private practice. Am I correct?
Yeah.
All right.
So what's going on?
Well, we need to understand once for all that physicians are being treated extremely, extremely poorly in the United States today.
Correct.
It's a plot against medicine. It's a plot between politicians that they, every time they touch medicine, they create more problems for the patients and the doctors. It's a plot because business are trying to gather the practice of physicians and the hospitals are buying right and left physicians to practice in hospitals, and they are killing the private practice. 70% of the physicians, 75% of the physicians were independent physicians before this incompetent piece of trash of a president that we have.
So how do you really feel, Doc?
Well, the major trouble with this is destroy the actual medical health care and create a route for insurance, business, politicians, and lawyers to attack medicine. The lawyers create and prostitute physicians to create the expert witness situation, and now it's an abuse of doctors and cost medicine millions of dollars on settlements that are totally irresponsible.
Okay.
They create a problem with the individuals that they are now in business, and hospitals are buying practices, and they are going to deliver a poor health care. You know very well that when you go to the hospital, you're petrified of infections, bad treatment, incredible disrespect for the patient, and all this happening in this massive acquisition of physicians in the hospitals. The physicians are losing practically their practice. They are disheartened, they are depressed, and then they cannot deliver good health care because they're now managed by a business who tell them what they need to do. You have a system of insurance companies who is increasing, and they are right, but they are increasing irresponsible the the deductibles and the out of pocket. So the physicians, the patients are nothing more than being shifted to insurance that they are poorly managed, that they pay money, they pay a lot of money, and the money that they pay is not really covering them. So when they go to a doctor and say, this doesn't cover you, and then they have a problem. They are, although, very good insurance. And we doctors, they need to start to gather and start to protect the good insurance. United Healthcare is an incredible insurance. Cigna is an incredible insurance. Do not buy anybody that is Obamacare or anything that is associated with insurance of the government. And you doctors, they need to start to gather together and start to say, we do not take that insurance. Blue Cross and Blue Shield is a piece of trash. Do not buy that insurance because you're going to pay a lot of money and you are going to end without service. And the prostitution that is happening now with the certain insurance is they're putting mediocre and incompetent physicians that they cannot survive outside. They are hiring them to be able to be the individuals that are going to deny the treatment for the patient. This situation is happening more and more. The problem is the politicians allow the insurance companies to have laws that they protect them. They don't protect the patient and don't protect the doctors. So we need to find a way to correct that. The only way to correct that is switch the insurance system from insurance that they are responsible to the patient and the doctor to close the doors to the insurance that they're irresponsible.
So basically hit them right where it counts, in the pocket.
Absolutely.
And when they realize that they're losing clients.
And the major trouble that we have is we have no representation. American Medical Association and other institutions that is totally responsible on the healthcare. We invite one of the American Medical Association.
Yes, we did.
We did an invitation to come over and talk to us why they are not representing doctors, and they sent us a cute note.
Read it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just paraphrase. Basically, they said, as the producer, I'm the one that reaches out to everyone. They said, thank you for contacting the AMA with your invitation. AMA about to convene its semi-annual policy-making meeting. In other words, AMA leaders are fully engaged, and there is no available times or dates to offer. I will contact you if an AMA leader becomes available. When I sent it to you guys, I went, okay, that's going to happen. Yep, hold your breath there.
Well, the major trouble is, yes, they are engaged in how to reach that corporation and being irresponsible with the care of medicine.
Absolutely.
Patients and doctors are being left alone on this trip. We need to go and create our own defense mechanism. We need to deny treatment to patients that they have bad insurance and force these patients to move to other insurance or help them to move to other insurance. Even if we don't charge for that visit, we need to help these patients to move from that insurance so we can have a situation of respect. We need to make politicians responsible of their action. Every time that they touch medicine, the situation in medicine becomes worse.
And that's a look at what's new in medicine today with Alfred Bonati, MD.
The only thing that I wanted to add to that is these experts do peer-to-peer reviews, and half the time they have no understanding of the mechanics of the body and what it takes for true treatment. And they're the ones that are going to death panel you.
Well, the major trouble is they don't even have the training properly. I questioned these people, and I said, and recently I'm putting a lawyer to do a checkup of this person, if this really is an individual who has the credentials. And you know something? They don't even know the anatomy.
Correct. And these are the ones in charge of your health care. You should be very scared. Well, that about wraps things up for our flagship station, News Radio 970 WFLA in Tampa. But hang out. If you're one of our affiliate stations, we'll be back with more incredible news on American medicine today. Otherwise, check us out nationally on Bloomberg and locally on WFTS. We'll see you next time. Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail.
This is the first time that I am pain-free after 18 years. And it's just wonderful. I love it.
Phenomenal results. No pain whatsoever.
My pain is virtually gone. Nothing short of a miracle.
Those surgeries gave me my life back.
Already, I feel like a new person.
I'm going home new. I can chase my grandbaby now. I can garden. I can cook. And I'm really thrilled. The outcome's been remarkable.
I feel 100% better.
It's like a miracle.
It was phenomenal. It literally did change my life.
I was in a wheelchair at that time, and I left here walking.
Every single pain that I had when I came here is gone.
I'm ready to go home and feel great. This place is great. Thank you.
Everything that they said they would do, they have done, and I'm very, very satisfied and happy with those results.
I knew in surgery, in fact, I told the surgeon when he relieved the pain off the nerve.
The pain is gone. I'm feeling wonderful.
I have no pain. I feel better than I felt in 4 years from the surgery. It was almost immediate relief.
Today I am totally pain-free, which is just amazing. It's fantastic.
It definitely works. I mean, I really don't know what else to tell you. I'm happy.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail.